I have memories of playing with my cousin as a kid, and he always had the coolest toys for all the shows that he would watch. One day, I saw that he had these cool little action figures that were in different colored suits. I asked him what show they were from, and he told me they were from Power Rangers. My 5-year-old self thought it sounded awesome, but I never got around to watching it as a kid. So here I am now, over 18 years later, to see what this show is all about. Originally introduced in 1993, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers can basically be described as a group of 5 teenagers that are fighting a bunch of monsters from space. The monster's leader escaped from being held prisoner on the moon, saw Earth nearby, and said, we might as well attack them since they're right next door. Because of the invasion, the teenagers were eventually given the ability to transform into a force of spandex-clad alien fighters, with their own weapons and assault vehicles to boot. If this sounds strange and confusing to you, you're not alone, and I love it. It turns out that the Power Rangers series actually took action footage from another Japanese series called Super Sentai, and threw in American actors for the story scenes to make it more understandable for American children. To show you a quick peek of what you would be getting into here, I decided to break down a couple of fight scenes that fill each show. So the teenagers are walking through the desert when they find a bunch of these things called putties. With gray spandex suits and oven mitts for hands, these things look like the inspiration for a character on Filthy Frank rather than a character on a kid's show, which made the experience even better. Anyways, the teens get quickly confronted and surrounded by the putties. And the best way to fight aliens? Youth Center Karate. That includes all the jump kicks, spins, flips, and sound effects that you could imagine from a kid's show in 1993. Then, 2 of the teens decide to literally abandon their friends by running away from the fight. The girl in yellow manages to escape, but the nerdy guy decides to climb a cliff for some reason to try to run away from the putties. These guys seem to climb pretty well, rather unsurprisingly, which leaves the guy stuck and pretty much screwed. However, the girl decides to help him by climbing the cliff for the next 2 minutes of screen time. I get dramatic tension, but this is on a whole other level. They literally spend 10% of the episode on this girl climbing a cliff. It's so bad it's good. Eventually, she makes it up the cliff, where she is easily able to get rid of the single putty that was confronting him. But wait, they just realized that they completely screwed their friends over. And trying to not be a-holes, they decide to go back down. And that's when this magic happens. If that scene wasn't enough for you, wait until I show you the time that they fight a monster made up of eyeballs. First, they transform into the Power Rangers, and this is where the Japanness of the show gets turned to 11. It's filled with unnecessary flips, jumps, and arm movements before they even start fighting. They are able to surround Eye Guy when he shoots fireballs out of nowhere to knock them down. The Rangers are able to get back up, and they decide to combine all their weapons into a super weapon, anime style. This weapon shoots frickin' laser beams, which causes all of the eyes to fall apart. The eyeballs decide to reassemble, all but assuring defeat. There's this floating eyeball that comes out of nowhere, which turns out to be the monster's weakness. The Blue Ranger manages to defeat this and causes Eye Guy to explode in sparks. The fact that this show is popular enough to air for years and have its own merchandise really shows one thing, something that is true and never changes. One could call it a universal fact. Kids have weird taste in TV shows and programs, and that's awesome. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys are having a safe time with all that's going on in the world. Let me know in the comments what other shows I should watch. If you enjoyed my content, leave a like and consider subscribing for more weird stuff. See you later.